Hey folks, Species 7 here. How's everybody doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 2013. So, kind of an interesting thing happened here. Well, interesting for me, I'm sure not terribly interesting for you guys, but, yeah. I came on a little while ago and decided, alright, let's put an episode together here and get her all done. So I sat here for the usual half hour or so and yammered away to myself about everything that was going on and got all this stuff done and shut everything down, and then went to open the file and realized, oh yeah, between the point where you open the Mod Commander software and make sure you're on the right file and the point where you actually launch Farming Simulator 2013, you need to launch your recording software. So yeah, I sat here and talked to myself for half an hour for no particular reason. What did you miss? Well, you missed the reason we went from minus $2,000, well, 19 and change, to plus 137,000. Yeah. I asked you guys last time, and the suggestion was, well, sell some crop. And then I looked at what we had for crop, and we don't have a lot. What we got off of these fields was pretty typical of the fact that they hadn't been fertilized or limed or anything else. So, if I'm going to part with that stuff, I want to part with it at top dollar, i.e. great demand. So what I did instead was, well, I loaded up the trailer that we got the lime in, and because the field here, the one that had our wheat on it, I limed that the last time, and I have seeded it again with wheat. And I thought, well, okay, now we want to fertilize it. So I took our fertilizer, which I bought. That's another story. And, well, I took the trailer first, the one we used for the lime, and I went back to the same place, filled it with fertilizer, came back and dumped it into the silo way over there, and then filled up the pert spreader, that guy there, and went over the field. Well, first thing was, it didn't change anything. Like, it didn't darken the field like fertilizer normally does. In fact, as you can see, it's still a fairly light color. This is the color the field changed after calc. So, I don't know why we have all these little seedlings. I don't think I actually planted anything here. It's kind of weird. I guess that's just a part of the texture. There's a spot I missed cultivating. But, yeah, so I was a little, because it turned much lighter after I seeded it, and I expected it to turn dark when we fertilized. It did not. So, the money. How did I get the money? Well, I had, back at the store, I hadn't moved it to the farm yet, but I had the, that black Iveco Stralis truck, or Iveco, whatever you want to call it, and realized that the trailers I'm using, right down to the flat deck trailer, this time around, are all tractor pullable. I don't actually need the semi-truck. So I sold that, and being a $200,000 truck, we got about 150 grand for it. Then, I thought, okay, well, we need a fert spreader, they're $50,000, and we need to pay for the trailer full of fertilizer. And I noticed that I was having issues with one of my tractors, and to be exact, I'll show it to you guys in case you end up with the same thing. This guy here, this Class Axion 850, it's really neat. Like, it has a lot of features, it looks good, the rating is nice, and $56 a day for a 230 horse tractor is way off base with most of what's being charged here. So that was all well and good. The problem with it was you couldn't back up a hill with it. It was almost like they weighted it wrong or something. Now, I mean, first of all, trailers would bob behind it like you were going over a washboard. Yeah, that's neither here nor there. It still got the trailer home. But the green trailer that I used for the calc was parked kind of where it is now, except actually on the road. And the tongue was poking out this way, the hitch. So I went to back the trailer up to it, or the tractor. It wouldn't do it. In fact, I could roll the tractor way down to here, start backing it up, and it would get like this far, and then the tires would spin. and I look and there's like nothing behind me. Every other tractor backed up the hill just fine. So yeah, there's some sort of a weight issue there, so I did sell that as well. And it's kind of a drag because between the two things I sold, we lost over $100,000. Mind you, we gained enough money to keep us in the game. So, with the money that we had extra from selling the truck and the tractor, because they were both well over 100,000, the reason that we are about 70 G's down is because I did buy the little FERT spreader, and I also bought a windrower. And I did that because I thought what might be a good plan, a good plan, yeah, let's go here, would be to do this. So I grabbed this guy, and right across the street from the farm is this grass field, which is mowed now. Ta-da! Kind of a neat texture, actually. It almost looks like mowed grass. Neat. This stuff here at the edge, this isn't cuttable grass. So, using this fine Schluter tractor, I mowed all that. So what we're going to do this time is windrow it, and then I'm going to have to take one or the other of these guys back to the other farm. And, oh, I guess I could have used the actual field entrance. Let's try that. And maybe we won't have to climb such an incline. And grab the forage wagon and suck all of this up. So, yeah. That's kind of how the day went so far. Just derping along like usual. But this shouldn't be too bad. We'll get all of this gathered together. Very nice. Crank her up. Let's get on our way. So, anybody else that's doing this map, let me know if you're doing both the lime or calc, if you wish, and the fertilizer. One, is it actually necessary, or have they actually replaced the fertilizing layer with the calc, which would be wrong because they're completely different things. Or, oh, and two, oops, this butt yikes. What did I want to know? Two. Oh, if you noticed any color change on the field, or if maybe you've got to do it, because you really shouldn't add the fertilizer into the raw soil. You know, generally you would do it once your seedlings were established, or at least something close to established, right? So, I'm kind of curious as to why it didn't leave any sort of a physical difference to the ground. So like I said, if any of you are doing this map, I'd really appreciate a little shout as to what I am or am not doing right and or wrong. Because odds are it's just some goofy thing I've done that's making it all come out backwards. Yeah, no? Sure. Alrighty. Yeah, I was kind of disappointed that I hadn't recorded that episode, because I'm really kind of crunched for time at the moment. My bathroom is being rebuilt, so I kind of have to try and get episodes recorded between tearing walls apart and making insane amounts of noise, because yeah, the entire bathroom being rebuilt from the ground up basically. So yeah, and it is a bit of a noisy process. Okay, now I think what I'm going to do here is get turned around. I don't think I can actually join two rows, can I? No, they're a little bit out of phase. What I can probably do is at least straighten up this last little bit properly. Let's do that, shall we? just going to move. Ah, I missed it completely. That's wonderful. So I'll have to go back to the other side and give it a try. There we go. I'll straighten that up, no worries. So yeah, I've been kind of, you know, trying to get this done between all the plumbing and woodworking and banging and smacking, so yeah. The walls were starting to leak a little bit. The guy downstairs wasn't for some reason too keen on the fact that when I'd shower, his bedroom closet would fill up with water. Yeah, what can I say? It's just a talent. I don't know. Oops. I have no idea what tempted me to turn it off all of a sudden. Away we go, come on. Come on. That's it. Yeah, I don't think we're really going to get a lot of grass off of here, to be honest with you. I'll look at it. That's alright. Let's get what we can and move along. Do this. Maybe that'll sort of help straighten out that other mess. There we go. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. Alrighty. And we have a field. Mowed and windrowed grass. Just cut around the trees, even though they are painted. There we go. Pop you off to the side. And I think you, sir, can... do I want you for the forage wagon? Why not, eh? Yeah. So yeah, we've gone from being very poor to having a decent little bit of money. However, we're also one tractor less than we were, but I think we'll be alright that way. Maybe I'll pick up a little John Deere or something. We'll see how it goes. It's certainly not the main priority. I think what it actually, so far as saving up for goes, I'm thinking maybe a chipper for the logging. Because another day and a half, and we should be able to start cutting trees. It takes 3 days, and I believe I'm a day and a half in now on this matter. So, should be good. Let's head back up to the farm. I have no idea what just happened there. That was kind of weird. And I think our forage wagon is tucked off to the side somewhere. There's our other two. Okay. Whoa! You go, Mr. Stunt Tractor. Look, there it is. Almost missed it. I don't know why they couldn't have painted it a nice bright color. I know. If it was any brighter, we'd have to wear sunglasses just to play the game. Alright, now we have our forage wagon. We can go grabby some grass. There we go. And we'll head down. Oh, looks like we have to wait for a train. It's already gone by. Oh, I guess it has. There we go. The gates are up. Come on. Let's go, dude. No time to diddly-dally. Alrighty. Apparently, you're just out for a leisurely drive, whereas I, sir, have work to do. So, on that note, I'm just going to carry on. Don't hit the railing. Yeah. Now, the other farm, I do believe, if we follow all of this around, and then go down here. You know, there's a fair bit of traveling on this map, but it doesn't seem... I don't know. I guess an actual effort was put into having it laid out so that it makes some sense. I think I might have actually mentioned this before. Some maps that aren't nearly this big tend to be a little confusing. Just because they don't seem to have any sort of logical layout as to how you get from point A to point B. Alright, now let's find an end. This is the end. Alright, no, this is the end. Okay. Let us turn upon our forage wagon and get her in motion. Okay. And we are gathering forage. Grass. Forage. Yeah, we're gathering forage. We're foraging for forage. That's it. Yeah, we're not exactly going to pull a full trailer out of here, I'm thinking. Whoa. Okay. That's another thing I've kind of noticed. It seems like things are just a little bit out of control on this map. Like I've noticed quite often with pretty much any of the tractors, even though I've had no issues with them per se on other maps, I have noticed things like you'll start to turn and then all of a sudden it's like it just accelerates like crazy and turns almost full circle. I've actually slammed into a couple of fences. I mean, you guys know I'm not exactly the pilot of Farming Simulator 2013, but you can usually tell if it's pilot error or just something weird going on. And it's almost like there's traction differences between the pavement and other surfaces, which I mean is fine in real life, of course. There's considerable difference between driving on pavement and driving on, say, grass or a field of dirt or anything like that. But I don't know if that's the explanation. We'll see. It's certainly not a serious thing. It just means every once in a while I have to reset a tractor because I've driven up onto something. And it's not like I haven't done that on every map I've tried. Okay. I think the first thing we'll do when we get this done is give a little bit to the sheeps, because they have been rather sadly neglected. They haven't got water, they haven't got grass, and they're trying their darndest to produce some wool. So, well, I won't say they haven't got grass. They are, of course, in a large grass field and pretty much spend the entire day grazing. So, the fact that they don't have nice cut-up grass in their trough, well, that's sort of just a game thing. Well, we're going to get a half a trailer off this field anyway, so that ain't bad. That might give us enough to do the sheep, do the cows, maybe have a tiny little bit left over to throw into the mixing station. We'll see. Oh, chasing airplane shadows again. Ooh, we're actually going to do better than 50%, aren't we? Heck yeah. might actually have closer to 3/4 than a half. I'm impressed. Very nice. 68, 70, 71, and a tiny little bit here. Boop, 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 boop. That's it. Beautiful. Okie dokie. Now, just drive down the embankment. Do a bunch of illegal turns here, there, and everywhere. And da-da-da-da. Yeah. Alrighty. Now we're talking. Where? Oh, there it is, way over there. Yeah, let's go around this way. Save me crashing into things. Like anything could save you. Here you go, sheepies. Don't say I never done nothing for you, man. Alright. Still leaves us 2/3 of a card. Nice. I think I'm gonna sneak through the silo here, actually. Whee! Oh, that was going so well. There we go. Alright. Let's get the rest of this back up to the other farm. This thing will really unwind on these roads if you give it a chance. Look at that, hitting 40 miles an hour. Woo! That's great. Whoa. Yeah. You might want to look from side to side now and then, woman, just to sort of, you know, ensure you maybe live till you're 30. Good Lord. Crossing the road without even looking. Just assuming people are gonna stop. I just about got hit on a crosswalk here a couple of days ago. I yelled at the woman too, because I'd already stepped out on the crosswalk and coming around a corner, didn't slow down, didn't look nothing. Which is pretty bad considering there's crosswalks in both directions there. And nope, straight around the corner, not looking, not nothing. She didn't even look when I yelled at her, and I'm sure she heard me. Oh well. Alright, and we are home. Nice. We managed the bridge. There we go. Lovely. Now, let's cut through and around, and we'll go and see if the cows would like any of this for their very, very own. I went the wrong way. Possibly. Oh no, I did not. Actually, I meant to go this way. Sure I did. Because the cow feed me now. Is right through here, I do believe. Excuse me, rooster. Oops. And you guys are gonna take lots. Wow. Holy cow. Well, that didn't leave us a whole lot for the mixer, but that's okay. That is okay. That's gonna make the cows happy, happy, joy, joy for quite a while, I think. I know grass isn't accepted there. Come on. Where it is accepted, the little drizzles that we have left, and that would be here. go. Not much, but hey, some is some. And that was some. So... we're just going to park our forage wagon there. Beautiful. Alright, well I think that's going to do it for this time around, guys. I hope you all enjoyed the episode. I certainly enjoyed making it for you. And, again, sorry I messed up and you guys didn't get to see us make our money back, but that will come, I assure you. And we are, as I said, only about a day and a half away from being able to start logging here to make us some money. So... I'd spill just a little more of this money into some equipment here. I think I'd like a better watering system than just that truck. I'd like a reasonable sized trailer as well. So yeah, looks like we can cut this grass. Yep, this is cuttable. Nice. So I've got another field here. I may do that as well. That should pretty much fill up the mixing machine. In fact, this is probably a bigger field than the one I was actually on. So very cool. Yeah, not bad at all. Not bad at all. A couple of rocks, but they are painted. Cool. Fence. Painted. Nice. Alright, I think that's going to do it, guys. Next time around, as I say, we'll have more to do. I'm going to field this seed. I'm going to seed this field back in barley, as it was when we first started the map. And we'll go from there. Yeah, as you can see, our trees are not quite up to where we need them yet. They're a little bit short. Little bit. I think these are some of our trees. I don't know. I know I put some somewhere. Yeah. And that was the case. Looks like there might be some smaller ones in here. It's so hard because everything's walkthrough. Oh well. We'll figure it out, that I promise. Till then, though, take care of each other, folks. Nobody else is gonna. This has been Species 7 for Farming Simulator 2013 and the Landwehrkanal map. Ciao for now.